A record number of Americans are now carrying credit card debt that they can't pay down.
More Americans are tapping into their 401ks for emergencies.
Costs are high. Americans are struggling. Inflation is outpacing folks' paychecks.
A family of four now needs nearly $140,000 a year just to survive.
Well, what if people just don't pay it?
What's up, you guys? It's Graham here. So I'm going to show you exactly how much money everyone else has in 2026 and then exactly where you rank. Because once you see the actual numbers, you'll realize that a lot of people are quietly falling behind and they don't even know it yet. Like, to put this into perspective, Vanguard just released a brand new report that tracks the retirement accounts of nearly 5 million people. And on the surface, the average person now has $167,000 stashed away in retirement. Except that number is basically a lie, because the typical American, the person right in the center, has just $44,000. And worst of all, 1 in 4 people have less than $10,000, while 1 in 10 have zero or negative net worth to their entire name. That's why we really gotta break down how much money people actually have, the one secret that's quietly turning everyday people into multimillionaires, and then most importantly, what you could do about this starting today to come out ahead. Because if this trend continues, the next crisis won't be people losing money in the stock market, it'll be people in their 20s and 30s realizing that they can't afford a house, they can't afford kids, they can't afford an emergency, and somehow they still can't afford to stop working. Although before we start, as usual, if you appreciate the breakdowns like this, it would mean the world to me if you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done it already. Yes, I know, it's the millionth time I've asked, but it does help tremendously, and as a huge thank you for doing that, here's a picture of Karen. So thanks so much, and also a big thank you to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video, but more on that later. Alright, so before we talk about how much the typical American has saved, why people are falling behind, and then what you could do about it, we need to talk about the savings crisis. For those unaware, every year, Vanguard analyzes the real accounts of 5 million Americans to put together what is basically a financial x-ray of the entire country. With this, we're able to see exactly how much money people are putting away for retirement, exactly where they're investing, and what they do when the market goes crazy. And when it comes to that, the 2026 report is pretty shocking. Why? Well, as it turns out, we have some really good news and some really bad news. We'll start with the good news first. Believe it or not, Vanguard says we have what's called a retirement revolution, because 25 years ago, only 65% of workers bothered to participate in their 401k, but today that number just hit a record 86%. On top of that, the savings rate of those people has just hit an all-time high of 12.1%. Again, on paper, this is really great. But in terms of the bad news, this is what the headline misses. Even though the average person has a 401k balance of $167,000, in reality, the average takes everyone's balances, adds them up, and then divides by that number of people, which means those results are skewed by a small number of multi-millionaires. Like, if I'm in a room with Elon Musk, our average net worth is closer to $550 million, even though me personally, I'm closer to zero than I am 550 million. That's why, to get an accurate understanding of these numbers, it's a lot more important to look at what's called the median, the person standing right in the middle. And in this report, the median person had less than a third of the average at just $44,000. So the next time you see a headline celebrating that Americans have record 401k balances, they're really describing a very wealthy group at the top and conveniently leaving out everybody else. So in terms of just how big this gap is growing and why some people are making so much more money than others, we need to talk about exactly where people are investing. And to do that, this brings me to the breakdown by age. Now here's where things get really interesting. In terms of where people are investing, despite what you might see, most people are not buying IPOs, meme stocks, and cryptocurrency with their retirement. Instead, roughly 70% of people are in what's called a professionally managed allocation, and about 61% of people are in a single target date index fund, with nearly 2 out of every $3 being invested in this way. However, here's where things get pretty disappointing, because when you break down the balance by age, the gap between the median and average becomes way too big to ignore. Like, first, for people aged 55 to 64, the median 401k balance is only around $95,000, which might seem like a lot until you consider that a 4% withdrawal rate, which is considered the safe amount that you'd be able to spend in retirement without running out of money, only gives you $3,800 a year in spending. or $317 a month, to spend in retirement after working for 40 years. Of course, in fairness, these numbers could be low because some Americans are already drawing down from their 401k. This doesn't include other retirement accounts, and perhaps they have other savings or investments elsewhere to fall back on. So it's not as apocalyptic as this might seem. But the overall results are pretty undeniable. Most Americans are coming up on retirement with way less than they'll actually need, and they're leaning on Social Security to hopefully bridge that gap. The second, there is another layer to the story which changes the results entirely, and that's the fact that, unfortunately, 40% of Americans have absolutely no retirement savings in any account whatsoever. That's why when you put all of this together, you could clearly see that most people are not saving anywhere near the amount that they should be. And a lot of people are expecting to fall back on Social Security, which may or may not be there by the time they actually expect to receive it. So in terms of how you compare at every age by amount, how much you should be saving to catch up, and what you could do today to put yourself ahead, here's exactly what you came for. Although before we go into that, this is exactly why it's so important to understand exactly where all of your money goes every month. Because for most people, you don't fall behind all at once. It happens slowly over time, like all the subscriptions you've forgotten about, the payments you're not shopping around for. And then at the end of the year, that could be the difference between having a whole bunch of extra money left over to invest and wondering where it all went. That's why I think budgeting is so important, not just for future retirement, but also everyday necessities. And one of my favorite ways to do this just so happens to be the sponsor of today's video, and that would be Rocket Money. For those unaware, Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that allows you to track your spending, manage subscriptions, create custom budgets, and see your finances in one place instead of having to jump around through different accounts. For me, the big value is that it gives you a clearer picture of exactly where your money is going. Like, I could track exactly what I spend, make sure everything gets paid, and audit my entire financial statement in one dashboard. On top of that, Rocket Money could also help track your subscriptions in one place, and with a couple of taps, you could cancel the ones you no longer want. This alone could save you a lot of time because most people don't realize how many active subscriptions they have until they see them in one dashboard. And the data backs this up. In fact, you could save up to $740 a year when you use all of the app's premium features. So if you want a better way to manage your money, just head to rocketmoney.com/Graham with the QR code also on the screen or the link down below and unlock even more features with premium. Again, just check out rocketmoney.com/Graham with the link below, QR code on the screen. Thank you so much, and now let's get back to the video. All right, so in terms of the average 401k balance by age, where you stand, and exactly what people are investing in, there's one more topic worth discussing first, and that would be the savings collapse. Believe it or not, according to the Federal Reserve, the median American household has about $8,000 in their checking and savings accounts combined, and it gets lower the younger you are. Like for those under the age of 35, that number drops to about $5,400, and for older people living alone, it's as low as $4,300. So between a median $8,000 in the bank and $44,000 in retirement, that's basically the entire financial picture for the typical American. And that also means that most people are just one ER visit, one busted transmission, or one layoff away from going broke or drawing down from their retirement accounts that they've spent decades building. Oh, and speaking of that, this is the part of the Vanguard study that's most concerning. Hardship withdrawals, where people pull out of their 401k, eat the penalty just to pay for an emergency, hit a record 6% of participants this year. This is the 6th straight year that this has increased, and it's roughly triple what it was from before the pandemic. On top of that, about 13% of people now have outstanding loans against their 401k, meaning people are literally borrowing from their future selves just to pay for the present. Why is this happening? Well, here's the number that ties it all together. The U.S. personal savings rate, which is how much money people have left over after all of their expenses, just fell to 2.6%, which is the lowest it's been since April of 2008, right before the Great Financial Crisis. Like, just for context here, the 30-year average is about 5.7%, so we're less than half the average. And this amount has been dwindling every single month. Like, it was 4.3% in January, 3.6% in February, 3.2% in March, and now 2.6%. In addition to that, here's what most people are forgetting. The savings rate is collapsing at the same time that the stock market has increased 28% over the last year. It seems like a contradiction, but it's actually the clearest picture of a K-shaped economy, where those at the top are doing better than ever, while those at the bottom are barely scraping by. In fact, the data shows that 31% of Americans are now considered upper middle class, an amount that's tripled since 1979. So for those at the very top, things have never been better, but for everyone else, they're getting squeezed by things like rent, groceries, insurance, and childcare that have all outpaced incomes. So their spending has increased, while the savings rate declines. That's why when you blend these two together, the average actually seems pretty good. But when you look at the data points individually, you'll see that the vast majority of people are not doing as well as the headlines say they are. Also, here's the part that should make everyone pay attention. Historically, when the savings rate reaches an absolute low like this, the stock market tends to suffer in the years following. Now, I'm not saying that's a guarantee, but it's something at least worth considering. So with the bad news out of the way, here's exactly how much you should be saving by every age and exactly where you rank. And in terms of that, we need to talk about the 401k breakdown. Thankfully, there is an ultimate cheat sheet for anyone wondering how much money you need. The golden standard is that by the age of 30, you have 1 times your salary saved. By 40, you want 3 times. By 50, you want 6 times. By 60, you want 8 times. And by the time you retire at 67, you want about 10 times your annual salary saved across all of your retirement accounts. Now, if you want to be within the top 1% of every category, according to Yahoo Finance, at the age of 24, you'll need $150,000. From 25 to 34, you'll need $365,000. From 40 to 44, that increases to $1,234,000. From 55 to 59, that'll take $3.1 million. And it tops out at $4,574,000 for those aged between 65 to 69. Now look, if those numbers make you feel anxious, just remember that the median 45 to 54-year-old has about $87,000 saved against a benchmark of $450,000. So if you're feeling behind, just know that you're not the exception. You're literally in the same boat as everybody else. But even if you're behind, that doesn't mean it's hopeless. So here's exactly how you could catch up today. Number 1, if you have a 401k match, always get your employer contribution. I know this might sound boring, but it's literally the most important part of this entire video. Just do it. Get the employer match, because oftentimes it means a guaranteed return of anywhere between 50 to 100%. It's free money. Always take it, no matter what. Always. Otherwise, it's dumb not to. Number 2, use auto escalation. In this case, those who set up a default 401k and auto contribute have way more money than those who don't. So use that to your advantage. You're also able to set up your 401k deposits to automatically increase 1% every year. You're barely going to feel it, but over time, that could add up to tens of thousands of dollars. Number 3, if you're over the age of 50, max out the catch-up contributions. In this case, the IRS lets you contribute $7,500 a year extra on top of your normal contributions. And when you do this consistently for 15 years, you could add almost $200,000 more to your retirement. Now, number 4, this is something that almost no one thinks about, but you gotta watch the fees. Like in this case, an index fund might charge you only 0.03%, but an actively managed fund could be as high as 0.75% or more. It sounds small, but over 30 years, that could compound to tens of thousands of dollars wasted. So pay attention to it. And then finally, number 5, don't get discouraged if you're behind. Look, the reality is a lot of people are behind in these benchmarks, so you're in good company. But really the worst thing you could do is see how far behind you are, feel hopeless, and then just do nothing. Remember, the people who win at this aren't the ones starting out with the most money. They're the ones who just started immediately and then kept it consistently going over time without panic selling. So in terms of what all of this means for you, what I think about this, where the market's headed in the future, and if this data is trending downwards, here's what you came for. Overall, I gotta say in general, the economy is getting a little bit better. More people are contributing to the retirement and market participation is increasing. But most people are still drastically underprepared and not saving anywhere as much as they need to. And that's something worth keeping in mind. Like, my honest take is that the people who win at this are not the ones who are the smartest or making the most money or having the highest returns. They're simply the people who set up a process as soon as possible, automated everything, stayed consistent with it, and that's it. Now, unfortunately, in terms of where we go from here, I tend to think that the financial gap is only going to continue getting worse before it gets better. Like, the people who invest in own assets will continue doing well while everyone else is going to fall even further and further behind. That's why it's so important to be aware that this is going on and be on the right side of the chart. So here's exactly what I would do. It starts with keeping as much money on the sidelines as possible. 3 to 6 months worth of expenses is most likely sufficient. Keep that in a high-yield savings account so you're able to earn a little extra interest. Automate your savings, always take the employer match, look at how much fees you're paying when it comes to what you're investing in, and then just keep doing it no matter what. I say all of this because the reality is you don't need to be rich to win at this. You don't have to time the market. You don't have to find the next big 100x opportunity. You just need to start with what you have as soon as possible, and then no matter what, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. So with that said, thank you so much for watching, and also if you want bonus content as well as member-style financial audits where I break down your own personal finances, feel free to join as a channel member, and as a perk of that as well, I personally respond to each and every one of your comments. So if that sounds good, feel free to join. Thank you so much, and until next time.